A former nurse has been charged with 8 counts of murder and 10 counts of attempted murder following an investigation into baby deaths at the Countess of Chester Hospital. 30-year-old Lucy Letby has been rearrested as part of an investigation which began in 2017.
Lucy Letby once posed for photos in her uniform, telling her local paper in 2013 that she enjoyed nursing babies as she could see them progress and support their families. Now she's suspected of murdering 8 infants and trying to kill another 10. The 30-year-old worked in the neonatal unit at the Countess of Chester Hospital. In 2017, the hospital called in the police, having become aware of a greater than usual number of baby deaths and babies at risk of dying between June 2015 and June 2016. Lucy Letby was first arrested in July 2018. Her home nearby was sealed off and forensic officers searched the house and garden. The nurse was arrested again a year later, and then yesterday she was arrested for a 3rd time.
Afghanistan was Australia's longest war, and for much of it, elite special forces were on the front line. But their heroism has been tarnished by accusations of misconduct and war crimes.
I think it's fair to say, in some cases, straight murder.
New South Wales Judge Major General Paul Brereton spent 4 years investigating at least 55 serious allegations. His report was handed to the Chief of the Defence Force last week. Both the Prime Minister and Defence Minister have been briefed on it.
This will be difficult and hard news for Australians, I can assure you.
In advance of the report's release, 2 new agencies have been flagged. An Office of Special Investigator will be established to prosecute alleged war crimes, with any cases heard in a civil court. And an independent oversight panel will be set up to ensure Defence follows through on the report's recommendations.
Let's start with the latest coming in on US election, as leaders around the world have offered their congratulations to President-elect Joe Biden on his victory in the US election. Now, on Thursday, Biden had his first conversation with America's strongest allies in the Indo-Pacific region, Japan, South Korea and Australia. The 3 key Asian leaders, Japanese Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga, South Korean President Moon Jae-in and Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison, recognized Joe Biden's victory over Donald Trump in the historic presidential polls. The main talking point outlined in the first calls was the boiling security concern in the Indo-Pacific region. All sides expressed their determination to strengthen bilateral ties as well as tackle global issues such as the coronavirus pandemic and climate change.
Well, at around 2 minutes to midnight last night, Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban sent legislation to Parliament which, if enacted, opposition MPs say it will consolidate his control in Hungary, his power in Hungary, even if he loses the election in 2022. Now, the first part of the legislation deals with LGBT rights and really is cultural issues. It diminishes the rights of LGBT people to adopt and so on. It also gives strict interpretation of the meaning of the family and gender identity. But analysts say really this is about rallying his base and also about distracting from other elements of the legislation. The other part of the legislation really diminishes the scrutiny of how public money is spent. And opposition MPs also say that he's trying to stop opposition MPs from having electoral lists.
Last year it was around this time that Ethiopia's Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed won the Nobel Peace Prize. After 16 years of deadlock, he negotiated a peace deal with neighboring Eritrea. At home, he introduced far-reaching reforms. Today, he is ordering airstrikes on his own people. Under his watch, Ethiopia is standing on the brink of a civil war.
550 rebels killed. More than 6,000 people forced to flee. A defiant, power-hungry regional power and a prime minister promising outright victory. At what point does the conflict in Tigray qualify as a civil war? It could be very soon. Prime Minister Abiy has recalled retired generals and soldiers. He has ordered airstrikes in Tigray Abiy's relationship with the regional leadership has always been strained. It reached a tipping point last week.
Following the terror attack in Vienna, the Austrian government is considering new anti-terrorism measures to crack down on radicalism and extremism. The Austrian lawmakers have now proposed measures to outlaw what they call political Islam. Let's tell you more about the measures. One of them is to criminalize religiously motivated political extremism, as the authorities call it. The proposal also includes the ability to keep terror convicts behind bars for life and their electronic surveillance upon release. The measures will be brought before the parliament in December for a vote. According to the Austrian chancellor, the step will target both terror suspects and the ideology that drives them.
A group of 165 companies and industry bodies is taking aim at Google. The collective, said to be the largest ever to write to European Union competition chiefs, is urging tougher action by antitrust enforcers. In a joint letter to EU competition chief Margrethe Vestager on Thursday, they said the US tech giant unfairly favours its own services on web searches. The group includes US and UK companies as well as peers in 21 EU countries. They accuse Google of giving its services, such as those for accommodation, travel and jobs, preferential placement in its search results. Google, a unit of Alphabet, has refuted the assertions. It says that its users are not locked in and that competition to its services is just one click away.
Oh my God! Go, come back because it's winning petrol. What you doing, man? Let's go! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh, come back! Run! Oh my God! Oh my God.
Cabinet has decided that from the 25th to the 29th of November, the nation should embark on 5 days of mourning for the victims of COVID-19, as well as for the victims of gender-based violence and femicide. We will let the national flag fly at half-mast throughout the country from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. from Wednesday, the 25th of November, to Sunday, the 29th of November. We call upon all South Africans to wear black armbands or other signs of mourning to signify our respect for those who have departed from amongst us.